Just going to layer these out on the grill. I think that'll be good. Close up our grill for a minute. Let's check our mop sauce, see how that's going. Simmering nicely. I've also got some leek here that I'm going to put on the grill with the other vegetables. Most of us probably don't grow leeks, but they're pretty nice this time of year. I want to just sprinkle a little bit of olive oil down the center of them. And we like to season everything as we go along. So again, I'm going to give a nice little sprinkle of some fresh pepper and some salt. And let's get those going on our grill as well. It should be just about the right time to start to turn our flank steak, or at least check on it. Couple more seconds, I can check our vegetables. You can see we're starting to get nice little grill marks on the vegetables. We want them to become nice and tender, so I'm going to let them go another minute. I've got some red onion, some avocado, a couple of nice tomatoes, some fresh limes for juice, and some cilantro. And we're going to make a very simple avocado and tomato salsa. Avocados are a bit tedious to work with if you've never done that before. I'm going to show you two different methods of cutting the avocado. First off, we take our chef knife. The avocado has a pit that's located in the center, but once you cut through the outer flesh, the avocado is very, very slippery to handle. These are Hass avocados and have a very thick, leathery skin. The way we pick these is they tend to darken up as they ripen, and you squeeze them and they kind of have a little bit of a give to them, just like you would with a peach when picking a peach. I slice right through the leathery skin, and then I gently turn the avocado so that the knife blade glides right along the pit in the center. Be very careful not to slip off and hit your fingers against the blade. We then take both sides and give a gentle little twist, and that will release the pit from one side of the avocado, like this. Here's the tricky part. We have to remove that pit, and being very slippery, it's hard to get, and we certainly don't want to dig in with another knife. So what I'm going to do is to wedge the knife blade into the pit, give a gentle little turn, and it locks in. Now, we never grab the pit here on the knife blade side. We release it by pushing it off from the back. Two different methods of getting this avocado out of the skin. First, we're taking a paring knife and gently making little slices about 1/4 of an inch right across. And we want to go in both directions, just like that. And we're in a sense creating a little checkerboard design. Once we're done with that, we're going to scoop all of the flesh out from the skin. And now our avocado is completely cut, just the way we need it. And we're left with our rind. Another method is to cheat and buy what's called an avocado cutter. Once you've opened up your avocado, you simply take this and run it right through. And now you're cut completely up one side. And all you have to do then is to cut completely the opposite direction, and we have the same nice little cubes for our avocado salsa. Next, we need some tomato. Again, we're going to choose to use our serrated knife for the tomato. I'm going to cut the tomato. Here we have the stem and what we call the stern. So if I hold it stem and stern and put my knife this way, that's called cutting it along the equator. So I'm going to cut the tomato along the equator. I'm going to squeeze out some of the pits. So we don't want this to be too watery. So we just gently squeeze out the pits on both sides. Let's stop for a second, take a look at what's going on in our grill. Our flank steak is cooking very nicely. We've got some nice grill marks. I'm going to flip it on a bit of a 45-degree angle so we can make a nice little design with those grill marks. Our vegetables are cooking up wonderfully. Got everything getting nice and tender. Okay. We'll just lower our grill down a little bit and go back to our salsa. Now we're going to take our tomatoes. We're going to cut out the little core on the tomato. Back to our serrated knife, and we're going to dice up this tomato nicely. Here we'll slice this one again. This will go into our bowl with our avocado. And now we need a little bit of red onion. Let's just take a peel off this red onion. This is a very nice salsa. I talk to a lot of people when I tell them I'm making an avocado salsa. They think of guacamole, and most folks say I don't really care for guacamole. At least there are many people out there that for some reason have an aversion to it. It's similar in nature to a guacamole, but I leave it a little bit more chunky so it has a nicer texture. Most folks taste this and say, I'm not sure if I like avocado, but after tasting this, they all seem to love it. So we need some diced up red onion. Okay. We need some fresh cilantro. When you cook like this, you have every dog and cat in the neighborhood chasing you around. And we need some fresh lime juice. Let limes come to room temperature before trying to squeeze them. You tend to get a lot more juice out of them. I like to stick a fork in them and then just give a squeeze and twist the fork. And I extract most of the juice out the same as if I were using a juicer. We're going to put a little bit of extra virgin olive oil in this as well. And I like to spice it up with a little bit of Tabasco sauce. Of course, we need to put some salt and pepper. Remember, we season everything up with salt and pepper generally. There's my Tabasco, which will add a little bit of a kick to it. A little bit of pepper. Sprinkling of salt. Now it needs a little bit of something to really make it come alive, and that's raspberry vinegar. Just a little sprinkle of raspberry vinegar.